Hey everyone, it's your girl Kiera and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of having microlocks. And I've had microlocks for 4 years now. I do feel like I'm credible when it comes to talking about this. So stay tuned if this interests you and let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start off with talking about the good things and the pros when it comes to having microlocks. So, as you may know, microlocks are a great option for those looking for a versatile style, a protective hairstyle, and it's just fun. It's fun to have. So we're gonna start off with the pros of microlocks. Number one, the versatility. You can style microlocks in various ways. Like today I have an updo, I have a messy bun. I personally love the messy bun look where some of the locks are hanging and some are tucked in. But if you're more of a clean cut bun girl, you can totally do that too. I've worn, pigtails. I've worn my hair braided back, low ponytails. I've in the past thrown on wigs over my microlocks. So extremely versatile. I will say, like, the earlier that you've installed the locks, the more versatile it is because down the road, your locks are going to harden, thicken. But yes, versatility is a number one thing that I love about having microlocks. All right, so that's pro number one, the versatility. Now, pro number two, low maintenance. Some may consider Braidlocs not so much of a low maintenance style, but I definitely consider it low maintenance. Whereas when you're loose natural, there's a little bit more that you have to do day to day to tend to your curls and your unique curls, right? So with microlocks, once installed, microlocks require minimal daily maintenance. I spritz my hair. I chat about my regimen and the products that I'm using video that I have. Check it out. But yeah, I spritz daily. Some people wrap their locks at night. I do. Some people don't. But as long as you're just providing some hydration daily, not overdoing it, you're good to go. Whereas if you have a loose natural hairstyle, depending on the hairstyle that you want to work with, there's a little bit more that goes into it. So that's the second pro for me, the low maintenance. So the third pro for me is just the longevity of the style. I personally plan on keeping my locks for as long as possible. If I ever do a chop, I would probably just be restarting my locks again. But this is the style that I've chosen as my style. And the longevity of it is just beautiful. As long as you're maintaining the roots, you're good to go. You can have this style forever. You can trim your ends, make sure it's not too heavy at a given point, right? But you're taking care of your hair. It's good to go. These babies are here to stay. And that's what I love about microlocks, just the longevity of it all. My future vision is me with my microlocks longer than ever, growing and flowing. We're growing and flowing and we're here to stay. We are here to stay. So that's the third reason I love microlocks, the longevity of it all. All right, so hair growth and retention. Me personally, I've noticed amazing retention when it comes to my microlocks. Whereas when I was loose natural, my hair would break off a lot. It would become extremely dry. And maybe that's because I wasn't taking as good care of it as maybe I am now that it's locked. But then it goes back to that low maintenance piece, right? It's easier to take care of your microlocks. Your hair growth is going to retain itself. You're not going to deal with as much breakage. So long as you're maintaining the roots as effectively and efficiently as possible, you're good to go. So I've noticed that my retention is stronger since I've installed my microlocks, and my hair is the longest I've ever seen it. And that's in consideration of the shrinkage too. Even with the shrinkage that you're going to experience at the beginning of your microlock journey, and as your hair is budding, and as you go in and you interlock the roots, you get an inch of growth, you interlock, maybe that's 1/4 of an inch. Regardless, you're going to see those babies drop, okay? And that's the beautiful thing. That hair retention is like no other. The hair growth, you're going to notice it more because your hair isn't breaking off. And so that is why I love microlocks. That is reason number 4. All right, so just a quick recap. The pros for me is the versatility, the style. It's low maintenance, easy to take care of your hair on a day-to-day, the longevity of it all. And just the hair growth and retention that I've seen it's that thing, okay? I'm that girl, okay? So yeah, those are the pros of microlocks. Now let's go into cons of microlocks, and not to end it on a bad note, but we want to look at both sides of the coin, and I want to provide that transparency to you. So when it comes to the cons of microlocks, Definitely the time consuming installation, okay? These are DIY, by the way. So these are DIY Microlocs. And it took me about maybe 14 hours in total to completely install the Microlocs in my hair.
Wow.
What did I do? I split my hair up into, I think it was like 250-ish or 200 and something braids, into little tiny braids, right? So I parted my hair. I was really trying to be careful and make the parts neat. And it was just very time consuming to braid all of those little tiny braids, right? That's going to take some time. Imagine like when you're going to go work with a braider and you are installing your micro braids. It's the same type of thing. It's time consuming. And if you're doing it yourself, you might get like a little bit of a hand cramp. You might need to take some time. Yeah, I definitely had to split it up between 3 days. And so it took some time, but as long as you know that that is the end goal, you're consistent and you're patient, all is well. It is a time consuming installation, but in the long run, you do save time on day-to-day hair maintenance. Now, let's say you're not doing it yourself and you're actually going to have them installed by a loctician, which some people and most people do. That is going to cost you some money. Like I've seen quotes from like $800 to $1,000, especially if you want to do sister locks, it gets expensive. So you're going to have to pay a pretty penny to have your Microlocs installed. So that's something that you want to think about as well. The third con for me would be the initial frizz and maturity phase. I have Braidlocs. My husband has Braidlocs. My husband is on his second round of Braidlocs, and I am on my first round of Braidlocs. So when it comes to Braidlocs, that first year, your hair is going to be frizzy, and that's a part of the locking process. Some people appreciate that. Some people don't. Some people like a more clean cut lock look. But whatever the case, your hair is going to frizz. You can't avoid it. And all that frizz will just essentially become more smooth and kind of firm. So you do have to be patient. Having Microlocs is a journey, and you have to be patient with that initial frizz and maturity phase. As your hair buds, you're going to go through many different phases where you're like, oh my God, I don't feel like my hair is growing at all. And it is growing. It's growing in width. And your hair is budding, right? And it's maturing, and then it's going to drop like crazy. But that was a con for me, just that awkward phase. So that's something that you want to think about. And last but not least, there is commitment required. Now, commitment is different than low maintenance, high maintenance, and all that stuff. And I would say anything that's good requires commitment, like your friendships, your relationships, going to the gym. Once you have that regimen down, you're good to go. And the discipline does, weigh out. But at the end of the day, when it comes to your Microlocs, you are going to have to be committed to the process. Meaning, if you have Braidlocs, you're going to have to go in and, retie the roots every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on your hair growth. Even if you do a 2-strand twist method for installation, you're going to have to make sure that you are twisting the roots up. You can't just, install it and then never ever touch it again, unless you're going for that free form look, which is not something that is a favorite of mine. But hey, to each their own. We're all different folks, different things we enjoy. But that for me is what some people might feel like is a con. I don't think it's a con, but I think it's worth at least mentioning in this video. All right, so I just talked about the pros of Microlocs and the cons. At the end of the day, I think that the pros outweigh the cons. I didn't list every single pro, but in summary, me having Microlocs is the best thing that I've done for myself. Outside of the tactile stuff like longevity, versatility, long maintenance, for me, it was just such a confidence boost. It's a style that I really enjoy and have grown to love even more. I just feel like my true authentic self. And I love locks. I love this beautiful black hairstyle that, is ours. This is something that makes us us, and although anyone can have locks, there's just something about locks on a black woman and a black man that is just so beautiful. Yeah, that's another pro for me. I know I'm kind of dibbling and dabbling here, but just want to end the video on a high note because there's so many beautiful things when it comes to Microlocs. All right, so that's the video. If you have any questions or if you want to share some of your own pros or your own cons when it comes to your Microlocs, your journey, feel free to comment. Feel free to share with a friend that might be considering Microlocs. Again, these are DIY Microlocs. I'm on year 4 now, and I am so happy, 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 happy with the results. All right, y'all. Well, take care. It's your girl, Kiera. Have a good day. Bye.